What's up, YouTube? We have a new Patreon tier. Next level. Here we go. Here are amazing perks you get with this, okay? 1 cameo per month where Tom sends you a personalized video message right here. This is perk number 1. Next, another huge thing, a Zoom call every month with Tom, Nick, and the members of this tier. That is perk number 2. Number 3, you also get a private reaction live stream every month with just the members of this tier and above. That is huge right there. Pretty much the cheapest way to get a reaction, but you also get a Zoom call and a cameo every month for $20. It is a no-brainer deal. It's the best thing we've ever done.
Hey, Tom Stevens, your resident psychotherapist. Dax, genius, coming out here with To Be a Man. We've already heard To Be a Man. We've heard the remix, but now it's featuring Darius Rucker. People might not want to say Hootie. I will say it because I remember when he first came out with Hootie and the Blowfish. Love that group. Still have the original CD from them from back in, gosh, that had to be the 90s, right? To Be a Man remix featuring Darius Rucker. Look, mental health is our thing. Dax has it all over the place. We have an interview with Dax. Go check it out on our channel. Just type in Dax interview, reaction therapy. It will pop up. Without further ado, Dax, To Be a Man remix with the main man, Darius Rucker.
I can't hide myself.
Woo! Yeah!
I don't expect you to understand.
Nope.
I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man.
Yep.
It's a lonely road.
Yep.
And they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
It's so important before we get into this to know that for so many men, we can feel isolated. We can feel kind of crippled at times emotionally because we have to present this certain image. We have to be this certain person. We have to provide this certain thing. But I talk all the time about men being vulnerable and having vulnerability. And what that means is not being weak. That's actually being strong. Vulnerability means I'm going to be honest with my feelings and I'm going to find someone to be with. And a lot of men message me a lot of tough, rough messages about how wrong I am or about how horrible the world is. But it's possible you found somebody that doesn't appreciate who you are as a man and that will just knock you down. So it's not going to apply in every scenario. As a man, you have to find a woman that is going to understand that there has to be a softer, vulnerable side of a man while still being a provider and a strong leader and a capable person to run the household in a, not just physical, providing financial, mental, emotional way to be there. It takes two people to be able to do that. And I love the description he gives about how, man, this is tough. And women could have the same argument, but a man has to be honest with how hard it is sometimes and not just give up and not just say, so what's the point? That's critical to know.
Feel, but what you provide inside that home. Being a man is what you make
Here we go, Darius.
That home. Being a man is what you make it. You can't always live up to expectations. You try to please everybody while you struggle, so you fake it and end up out of balance, compromising situations. As a good man, do what he should, man. I give everything he has and do everything he could, man. You might find yourself feeling all alone inside a house you built that you don't recognize as home. And
that's so good. As a good man, do everything you could and should, man. Like that role you want to play, and you find yourself in a house that you've worked hard to provide or to be a part of that you don't even recognize as home. When you don't recognize the house you live in as home, that's a problem. And sometimes it's because a man will feel like he's working all the time and trying to make things happen and keep the wheels churning, but can't just sit back and enjoy. I love the picture of this dad and this husband in this video with the son there as a part of the family. Be honest with how tough life can be sometimes and be uncompromising at trying to find a way to make it work. Building the relationship from the top down. The husband and wife have to be close, connected, best friends, always together in this, and it spills down to the children. Otherwise, we separate, and he says you end up feeling alone.
Inside a house you built that you don't recognize as home. And that's what my daddy told me, and I'll tell my son the same. Now that I'm older, I relate and I actually feel his pain. He never cried, he might have lied, but he did not complain. And he said, son, one day you'll have to do the same.
Yep.
I get emotional when I stop and think and I look around. Beyond the county lines of my small town, I think about all the men out there who feel like I do now, who are screaming on the inside but won't ever make
I
a
can't
sound.
hide myself.
Yeah!
I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
God, you see Darius just mouthing the words to this song, feeling the words. One of the best choruses I've ever heard. Just how difficult it is as a man. I think when we grow up, at least I do with my dad, who's 80, almost 4 years old, and think of all the times he was scared, he felt alone, he felt like he couldn't do it, he felt beat down and struggled, that I never knew until I get to my age now with my own children and think, man, it must have been tough. And we pass this down generation to generation. In other words, life is hard. There's nothing that's going to be easy. Parts of life can be easy, but life in general requires us to keep climbing and keep clawing and doing our best. But man, we need more men that talk to men. We need more friendships with men who open up and share with each other how tough it can be, while also encouraging each other to be strong and to be able to make it and stand up for it and in front of the people in our homes, so that we can be good leaders, good providers, and good examples of what it's like to have endurance and strength and perseverance. Anyway.
You feel, but what you provide inside that home. Don't give up, keep fighting.
Yep.
As a man, our sun is our horizon, and our father's actions play a role, and we end up like them. So they can't let us see them hurt, cause we'll embody what they do and start a generational curse. No wonder most men are so depressed, all the things that they can't express. They go to war, get thrown on the shelf, then go back to war with their mental health, then grab that bottle and ask for help, try to pull themselves out of hell, then fall back down and then realize that they're gonna have to do it themselves. It's the circle of life. As a man you provide, they don't know what you're worth till the day that you die, and that's when they start crying. Then move on to a man to confide in. That's why we feel we can't hide ourselves.
I don't know what you're worth until the day that you die, and that's when they cry. That's when you see people realize what you meant to them. We don't want to wait until it gets to that point. The generational curse of this thing going round and round and round. We can stop generational patterns that are unhealthy, and we can start new ones that our children and the next generation can keep doing, which is learning how to handle life differently. Mental health matters, and that's what he's saying in that song. We've got to have stronger mental health to be able to cope, to be able to understand why things are happening and what to do about them, so that we don't cripple and we don't shrink and we don't shrivel up because of what happens.
Die, and that's when they start crying. Then move on to a man to confide in. That's why we feel we can't hide ourselves. We can hide ourselves. We don't expect you to understand. We just hope we can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and you don't care about what we know. It's not about how we feel, but what we provide inside that home. Inside that home. That home.
Yep.
It's not about how we feel, but what we provide inside
You get Darius Rucker on your song. You've done something really cool. That is Dax to Be a Man remix featuring Darius Rucker. What a great addition in recognizing how difficult it is to be a man sometimes and what we can do about it, because otherwise it's just going to keep happening over and over and men are going to be doomed from the start. We got to pay attention to that. Remember, it's not real therapy. It's just Tom breaking down lyrics to some great music. If you want help, check the links in the description of this video and give us your comments. Let us know what you think about this new version, and also what it's like for you to be a man and the men that you've seen in your life. Mental health matters. This song says it over and over again. Dax always says it. So let's go get some. We'll see you on the next Reaction Therapy.